Alrighty, you guys, we are out here fly fishing once again, trying to catch a bluegill on camera. So I just had a bite a second ago on it, and I decided I was going to say, you know what? I'm not going to make a mistake like I did last time and not have the camera with me or on. So I got the camera. There's a bluegill just moved right over there. So I now have the camera, and we are going to fish for some bluegill with the fly rod. So I'm using this little brown dry fly. I lost the yellow fly, and so now I'm just using a little brown dry fly, but when it sits there for a second and I move the rod tip, it'll sink. It'll start to sink really slowly. That's how I got my bite just a second ago. So I'm just going to fly fish around here and see if I can get bit on camera. I'm gonna go pull out some more line. There's quite a bit of movement over there. I might end up sneaking over there, seeing if I can sneak up on a bluegill or two, because there is quite a bit of movement going on over there. And it doesn't look like frogs movement, so we'll sneak around there. We'll just let that fly sink real slow right over there, and then we'll pull it back up. And there's a frog right there though. Right there. See how there's some movement over there too. Let it sink a little bit and just start pulling it in real slowly. That's how I caught 2 bluegill yesterday. So, oh, I got one on camera. No way. Wait, oh, it came off. I got one finally on camera. Come here, buddy. Finally caught a bluegill on camera. Heck yeah, looky there. Nice bluegill. This is one of the green sunfish bluegill hybrids. You can tell by how thick his tail is, but it's short. If you look on his fins, there's some orange and white. That's how you tell they're green sunfish hybrids. Heck yeah, man. Actually, I think it was my 3rd or 2nd cast back over here in this spot. Make sure my fly is okay. Sure there's nothing wrong with it. It looks good to me. Heck yeah, finally got a fish on camera. Alright, you cast right back out there and pull up some line. Don't need that much line out. It's tangling up, or it's trying to tangle up anyway. Ooh, I'm getting bit. Oh no, it came off, darn it. You guys see that? No. They're wanting this fly. You guys seen that? I hope you guys did. I sat there and watched my line just start moving really slowly away. Darn it. Just using a little brown dry fly, but it's sinking, so it's kind of like a wet fly. Fix this. There was a 2nd bite, 2 casts in a row. Heck yeah, man. This is actually working out pretty good. There's a bit too much rain this morning, so I couldn't go to like a normal place that I would actually go fishing at. So just thought, you know what, why not bring the fly rod out here and throw a fly for a little bit. And it's already been very successful. Got one catch on camera. I missed one on camera as well. And we're only 5 minutes into the video. Awesome. That one I missed looked about the same size, maybe a little bit bigger, but he looked a lot more orange looking. So I'd say it probably was a full-blooded bluegill, because there is some of those in here. There's not as many as there is, say, the green sunfish hybrids, but there is some full-fledged, I guess you'd say, purebred bluegill in here. Just casting right straight over here, just in front of this bunch of tree branches and stuff. That's how it pays off sometimes to not pull in your lure or your fly. It doesn't matter if you're fly fishing or lure fishing until you have it like right up here on the bank. Because, you know, just like when I caught my 5-pound bass, you know, he basically rushed the bank after it. He wasn't even in water almost. He hit it so close to the bank that he was basically on land. And then that one there, I was already almost to the knot between my leader and my main line when that bluegill there, the second one that I missed, hit it. That's why it pays off to make sure you leave your lure in there for the maximum amount of time. It doesn't even matter if you're lure fishing like for bass, walleye. Oh, that wind's coming back now. Wind was really bad this morning. Oh, there's some bluegill moving. Right there, come on, get it. It's almost like fishing for schooling bass. I'm sure some of you guys have probably done that, or at least seen it done before, where you see them start moving on the surface and you got to cast to them. I've done it before with bass, bluegill, just about anything. Oh yeah, here comes the wind. Try to keep the audio decent. Oh, there's some moving. Seems like when the wind picks up, they like to try to move a little bit. I don't know if maybe there's some bugs hitting the water or what. I know yesterday when I came out and I caught those other bluegill, the third one, which I ended up not posting that video because it wasn't very good. The third one that I caught on night crawlers, I actually seen it bust on the surface. It was eating those little bugs. They look like mosquitoes, but they're not mosquitoes. They like sit on top of the water. It actually came up and busted on one of those, and I flipped little night crawler, jig head, and cork over there, and he bit almost instantly. Oh no, okay, thank goodness. I almost lost that fly. Whew. I've done that so many times here in the past few days, getting it stuck over there. I done it yesterday twice with both a fly and the cork jig head combo. I ended up having to bend out the jig head hook just to get it stuck. Which the jig head was old and they weren't exactly the best quality anyway, so it's not like I was mad for breaking the or not breaking the hook, but bending the hook. Cast it right back over here. It's kind of hard to cast this area because that's kind of where the wind is going, and it makes it want to come back this way. So you basically got to fly, or you got to cast over here just so it'll hit here. Yeah, that second one, I think I set the hook just a little bit too early on it. But that second one, I just was sitting there watching the knot of my line come up out of the water. And when the knot of the line was coming up out of the water, I just seen that knot jump and then start swimming away. And that's how I knew I had a bite. I hope the camera was able to pick up that fish coming up out of the water when I hooked it, the second fish, because it was really cool. It looked really bright orange color, so I'm believing it was a full-fledged bluegill and not a hybrid, because the hybrids are pretty pale in here, and I think the reason for that is because the water is like 2 inches of visibility. It's very muddy. I'm thinking that might be why they're so pale looking. There we go, that was a good cast. I like that cast. Let her sink down for a little bit, and I'll just slowly pull it back in, just like so. You guys can probably hear that wind ripping over here. I'm wondering if maybe I should go over to the really shallow part and see if there's some over there, because I haven't been getting any more bites right here. I think I'm gonna reel up this line a little bit, and then I'll walk over there here in a second, finish out this cast. Alrighty, pick up this line. That way it don't get tangled up too badly on the walk over there. There we go. And we'll just walk over here to the shallower part. Let's see if I can possibly get one over here. Oh, there's a little frog. Now this is just a technique from bass fishing, but it can be used into fly fishing. Make sure you don't do a full length cast when you get to a new area, because if you do a full length cast, then you can spook fish. If you catch one way out in the middle or on the other side of the pond, you can spook the ones that are in between there and where you're standing. That's just a little technique that I learned from bass fishing. That's actually how I caught one of my biggest bass, doing that exact same thing with a frog. I actually stood about maybe 10 to 15 yards back away from the pond and flipped the frog out about maybe 5 feet from the bank, and I think I twitched it like maybe 5 times, and he came up and just nailed it. It was a close to 5-pounder. I'd say it's probably about 4 1/4, maybe 4 3/4. Somewhere in that range. Man, that is awesome that I finally was able to get an actual catch on camera, hook set, pulling the fish in and everything. There's a really long cast. Let's see if I can get bit way over there. We'll slowly strip it back into. There we go, right there up in the shallows. Probably won't get bit back here, but you know, might as well try it, because if you don't try it, you'll never know. I think I'm going to reel this up a little bit. And I think we're going to go on over here back where I was just a little bit ago. I might move on down a little bit just to give it a little bit of a different angle, because that can sometimes be the way to catch the bigger fish, because I've seen that a lot on both TV, YouTube, where people just stand in one spot for a long time and cast to the same exact spot, but they walk 10 or 15 yards down the bank and cast to the same exact spot, just different angle, and they end up catching some bigger fish. They catch the biggest one. So who knows, maybe that might happen here. Oop, I just had a bite. Alrighty, well, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.